So today I'm going to do a repair on the Sharp pocket computer I bought off eBay quite a long time ago. It was a bit of a spontaneous buy and I hadn't really read the details properly, and so when I got it I found that the screen was broken. When I went back and looked at the detail on eBay for the listing, it was quite clear that the screen was broken. But no worries, perfect opportunity for a repair. After a short bit of Googling, I quickly discovered you could buy replacement screens off Tindie from someone called the Half-Baked Maker. So I bought 4, just in case. See the link in the description. So it comprises of 2 parts, the CE-125, which is the base with tape and the printer, and then the actual pocket computer, which is the PC-1251. I'm going to tackle this in 2 parts. First the pocket computer and then the base system. So, without further ado, let's get on with the repair. Woohoo! So let's separate the pocket computer from the base. And to do that, you need to push the pocket computer to the right. And out she comes. There are 2 screws at the back that need to come off. There we go. And the back should just pop off. Okay, maybe not that easily. Take the battery cover off. Now these batteries have probably been in for decades and were as flat as anything. So now taking the next layer out. These 2 screws are already out. So just the daughter board and the plastic cover screw. The plastic cover and the daughter board come off as a single piece, and this included the piezo speaker, which is soldered to the underlying motherboard. Gonna have to unsolder that. But before we do that, let's have a look to see what all these chips are. And a quick look at the service manual gives us a very clear idea. So 16K ROM, 4K of memory, LCD driver and 8-bit CPU. Right, let me get the piezo speaker unsoldered. There we go. So let's get the main motherboard out now. There's no more screws, so it should just be a case of getting it out. Yep, nice and easy. This is the keyboard membrane, which we need to be careful with and ensure we don't get dirty. So let's have a look here. That's the bevel. Put that aside. We've got the keypad that the membrane keys press onto, and of course the display. So turning this over, we need to find the tabs that hold the display in place. And carefully use a small screwdriver just to prise them up. This was a little bit fiddly, but I was really trying to be careful not to break it or scratch the circuit boards too much. And once I was satisfied that the tabs were free, I could start to prise the cover off. And this proved to be equally fiddly, but in the end I got there. There you go, out it comes. So the next thing is to take the screen apart. So first I'll start with getting the zebra connectors off, officially known as elastometric connectors. So we need to be careful and gentle about this, as they are fairly delicate. And I think generally they're placed on with a little bit of sort of conductive adhesive, I guess. But I should be able to gently pull them off. There we go, gently does it. Right, that's one off. Now just the other side. Great, now I'll keep those two in a safe place. Now, I've seen videos where people soak this in acetone to get it all out, but I don't really like that way of doing it. So I decided to use the Reworkstation's heat gun to heat the glue and hopefully get it loose enough to pull off. But first I need to get the Polaroid off, which looks like it's just held on with some double-sided tape. Just prise the edge of it so that I can slip the tool in and just slide it between the Polaroid and the metal housing. There you go, easy enough. And now back to getting the actual LCD out of the housing. And as I said, I'm going to try and use the Reworkstation hot gun to heat and loosen the glue. Oh, hang on, I think I better check which way the screen fits in before I take it out, so I know how to put it back. Anyway, finally on to getting the LCD screen out. So this is just a case of heating the aluminium frame until the glue hopefully melts and lets go of the LCD screen. Also, a bit fiddly. So what seemed like an absolute eternity, and trust me, I cut out a lot of footage here, it finally came out. The LCD screen, of course, now is completely wrecked, but it doesn't matter, it's going in the bin. The next delightful job is to remove the residue from the double-sided tape that's left behind. This is another job that took much longer than I thought and was much more difficult than I hoped for. So this is where I do use acetone to get rid of the glue residue. Finally, I got all the glue off and I'm happy with the result. Okay, step number 7000, I think. Time to get the new LCD screen back into the housing. Oriented the right way, of course. Yep, goes in that way. I used some thin double-sided tape to hold the LCD screen in place. Cut the double-sided tape into 2 strips and stick them down on the inside of the housing. And then just trim the overlaps and we're ready to go. Let's just double check the correct orientation. And amazingly, I remembered to take the protective cover off the front of the LCD. And now to stick the LCD into the housing. Can you see what I'm doing wrong here? Yep, double-sided tape doesn't work if you don't take the other side off. Let's try that again. That's better. So now the delicate operation of getting these zebra connectors back in. And this is yet another fiddly job. It's like trying to get earthworms to stay in one place. Hang on, got to give it a bit of a clean first. Nothing like a bit of isopropylene to clean the muck off. Right, time to get these bad boys back on. Here I notice there's a difference between the top and bottom zebra connector. The bottom part of the LCD has connections all the way along the glass, whereas the top half is actually split and has 2 halves. The zebra connectors match this, so I'm really glad that I picked this up now, otherwise the chances of getting them back to front would have been really high. And as luck would have it, I got the first one right. Looking good, and now it's time to get it back on the motherboard. Also quite a fiddly bit to do, and I spent a lot of time messing around trying to get this on and lined up properly, and when I was happy. Again, cut out a huge amount of footage here. Now, note what I'm doing here. You'll see a bit later in the video why. I'll give the Polaroid a bit of a clean. I get some more double-sided tape so that I can put the Polaroid on the housing. Remembering this time to take the other side of the double-sided tape off. Right, ready to put the main board back in. Just give the switch connectors a clean. And clean the switch contacts. And here we go. Now, needless to say, this was not easy. It didn't work when I got it together. And I did end up going down a rather large rabbit hole before I found my mistake. All of which I've just cut out because really it wasn't important. But in the meantime, this is putting the piezo speaker back in. And another quick clean of the connectors and zebra stripes for the daughter board. Now to put the daughter board and battery holder back on. And then some new batteries. These are just the standard 3V CR2032s. Just put back some screws to hold things in place. So now this was the beginning of the big rabbit hole that I went down. If any of you have one of these or have fixed one of these before, you might see what I've done wrong. So other than noticing the bevel has slipped down, it's dead, nothing happening. I went through a huge process trying to work out what went wrong here. Testing voltages, tracing lines, I almost even took out the entire LCD screen to check it. Thankfully, I didn't do that. Anyway, it took me ages to realize this.
Oh no.
Well, that'll explain it. So, putting the batteries in the right way this time, and the battery cover back on. It's better, but it just says busy. So, to cut a long story short, I discovered that you needed to press the reset button on the back when you've done this much surgery to it. And there we go, we have a cursor. But if you notice, the screen is really dark. So you remember much earlier in the video I said take note of this when I was putting the Polaroid on. So it turns out the screens I bought already have the Polaroid attached. No wonder the screen is so dark. So hopefully for the final time, I've got to take this apart and get the Polaroid out. There we go, gone. Okay, saved you the trouble of me putting the whole thing back together again. And let's give it another whirl. Yay, finally! Looking much better. And the speaker's working. So, it's all working. Looking good. I just want to add a note in here to say when the screen was replaced. So, there you are. This was my adventure of fixing the Sharp PC-1251. I've learned a lot with this repair, and no doubt when I do one again, it'll be a lot faster, a lot easier. In part 2 of this repair, I will look at the base. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll see you then.